What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex. In this video, I want to have kind of an angry rant, but discuss the Uncharted movie. With the news over the weekend that it got delayed yet again, honestly, I can't even count the amount of times this movie has been delayed, but I believe it's been around 4 to 5 times that this movie has been pushed. It was originally supposed to come out in December of 2020, originally meaning, over the last couple months, that's what they had done. They had Travis Knight that was going to be the director. That was the most recent director. Obviously, then they dropped him. Rumor had it because of scheduling conflicts with actually, when they were going to film the movie. But the movie has now been pushed again to March of 2021. So again, I just want to kind of have a discussion. I don't think I'm the most knowledgeable Uncharted fan out there, but I can tell you I'm one of the more passionate. Uncharted is my absolute favorite gaming franchise of all time. Uncharted 4 is my favorite game of all time. I truly adore Uncharted. Okay, that's one of the first things you should know about me, especially if you're a new viewer. Welcome. But this movie, just in general, has really gotten me upset so many times, because here's where I ultimately stand on the movie is I don't even want it. I think I'm like a lot of people in the Uncharted community that are like, and really any of these kind of things, when you have a gaming franchise that, in my opinion, is as big of a masterpiece or as well put together as Uncharted, you leave it alone. Honestly, even with the games themselves, with Uncharted 3, fine. If you didn't want to come back to an Uncharted 4, I would have understood that. Now being Uncharted 4 is done, rumor has it in general that Sony is making a new Uncharted game. Probably would not feature Nathan Drake. It wouldn't be from Naughty Dog. Even that, it's kind of like, just stay away from it. You ended it, so in my opinion, they're all just my opinions, by the way, so perfectly. I really don't need it to continue. So when it comes to the movie, it's like, well, already my opinion of it is I don't need it. It could really, it's hard to say. It's hard to say, but what I want to tell you guys is really the only thing it can do is hurt the franchise. I can see how you can say it can help it, because it can obviously bring in so many new people that, moviegoers that have never played the game, so maybe you can expand the franchise. You can get people that have never heard about it before. So, I get that. There is potential, but to be honest, from a gaming perspective, from people that have played the games and then go and watch this new movie, whenever it comes out, I feel like the only thing it can do is hurt us. I truly do, because I don't think the movie can ever reach where the games were. Ever. I truly do believe that, especially now on its first try, and with all of this drama. Now, where I stand in the rest of the production, Tom Holland, I love that decision. I like the fact that they're going young Nathan Drake. I would have preferred if they went young, and then the next movie, they introduced a brand new actor, somebody that we had been saying, for years, people have been pitching, could it be Nathan Fillion, maybe Bradley Cooper. There's lots of people that could potentially be, even Chris Pratt in a way, a Nathan Drake. Could that happen? And that would be what I would want to do with it. Have the origin story, have the young Nathan Drake, but then have, the sequel. But at the same time, I do get it if you want this to continue for more than one movie. Tom Holland, he is he's getting older. He's 23 years old. So you can build this into a franchise. You can have him do this in his mid to late 20s. You can introduce a love interest. They can be, she can also be in her mid to late 20s and go from there. Daisy Ridley, I think, is a phenomenal choice, but there's lots of other people. So I like the potential. And so while I do believe that at the end of the day, no matter what, it's going to let me down. No matter what, it's going to be even if I go in with zero expectations, I'm still probably going to say well, there was this good and this good, but did it really need to happen? So in my opinion, it's already behind the 8 ball, but then come on, delay after delay after delay. They keep dropping directors over and over and I don't understand why. I mean, there's always a rumor of why each director gets dropped, but pick one and just do it. If it sucks, it sucks, and you can leave it behind. It wouldn't be the first one, right? It would not be the first game adaptation for a movie that fails, or it wouldn't even be the first movie that's just bad that you say, well, we had plans to make this a franchise, but now we're going to drop. It happens every year. It happens every month, I'm sure, for a film. Okay, so it doesn't really matter. Just get the thing moving. I've always said this when it comes to games. I'm never in a rush to get games. When it comes to delays, they're fine. Obviously, there's a reason why games get delayed. Get the best product to us eventually. So, it's totally cool. But like with the movie, it's already in a situation where I don't necessarily want it. It's probably going to come below my expectations. It's never going to live up to the games. Things like that. And then it just keeps getting pushed. And it's like, if you're going to do it, just do it. Just get, like in this case, for this movie, I'm saying I want it now. Like, just give it. Just film it and have it. I don't care if it's a first time. Because what they're trying to do is get a director that can blend this kind of world that they're trying to build, right? This action adventure, but it's got some comedy, it's got some emotion. And they've had, there's like the list of like the 6 or 7 directors that had one time been linked to this movie, and they're all good and reasonable for what they were trying to do in their own right, but even Travis Knight is fine, but they've all been dropped. And I feel like they're trying to go for like established directors or directors. They just do a first-time director or something. Like give it to. And I get it. Maybe you don't want to do that because that risks the movie overall. But like if Tom Holland and Mark Wahlberg are like solidified in it, you already have a pretty solid cast right there. And if you build in around it, like you can have a very reasonable, high listing kind of cast that can probably carry it. At that point, you don't need the director to be someone that lots of people know. You don't need that part attached to it if the actors can carry it themselves. So it's just a situation where it's annoying. It doesn't necessarily make me fume, but at the same time, it's just annoying because it's like nobody really wanted this to happen. Nobody was asking, let's get an Uncharted movie out there. Like who... Maybe at one point that was a thing. Nathan Fillion, that was a big thing. I would have preferred that. In fact, remember last year, or like a year and a half at this point, we got that. Remember, we got that fan kind of film that was around 15 minutes. That was awesome. It was awesome. It was like the cool. That's right there. Again, people were kind of asking for it, but we were still always afraid. Like, could it really work? And then they did it. Small budget. It literally went up on YouTube, and it was awesome. And why? Because it actually surpassed. So in that way, that one actually surpassed it. I hope that doesn't give anybody like unreasonable expectations when they go into this Uncharted movie. It's just strange. And then from a personal level, I do want to see it. And here's the deal: I will see. Because I am this Uncharted diehard fan, like I will see it. Day one, I will go to the movies to see this Tom Holland film. We will talk about it at length on the channel. Like I want to cover it, and I want it to be really good. One of my biggest things would be for me to go see it, and it like just rocks it, and it's just like so unexpected. And it's like, oh my god, they actually did it, and I want that. But, like, the way they're going, it's just a joke. And at this point, it's very hard. Like, movies that do this, that get delayed, like, 1,000 times. They get pushed, like, 3-4 years from when they probably should have came out. That go through, like, half a dozen directors. Most times, they don't come out, like, on a positive note. Most times, they come out, the company kind of just, like, sneaks them in and hopes that nobody realizes that the movie's out, takes the loss, and just moves on with their life. That's normally what happens. But because it's a video game movie, and because it's one of the more popular PlayStation games of all time, it doesn't get that luxury. They can't sneak it out when nobody's paying attention, because people will pay attention, and they will be caught if the movie's a disaster. And I feel like, to their credit, they know that, and that is why they're trying, right? They're trying to get A-list actors. They're trying to get directors that are established that they probably feel comfortable with, because they know, hey, nobody asked for this. People are very skeptical, as they should be, and now we've really dropped the ball, so we have to make sure it's at least like an average product. Like, at least it's passable. Because if it's not that, then we already look like fools, but we're going to look even more idiotic. And I think, honestly, Sony knows that. And that's why, in a way, they are taking their time. But at the same time, they're not taking their time because they wanted this movie to be out in December. And because of the whole scheduling, the shoot thing, that's why Travis Knight had to drop out, because it didn't like line up with Tom Holland. So like even there, they kind of do want to speed things up. They probably want this to be, I'm sure there's two sides. They want it to be a good product, and they're in a tough situation. But at the same time, they just want this thing out and done with, right? Very, very tough. I'm, just more disappointment. Every single time it gets delayed, it's like, whenever they get a new director, whenever they kind of confirm that there's a new person attached to it, it feels good. It feels like we're one step closer to at least being able to see whatever they want it to be, whether or not it's good or bad. But, like, then when we lose them, and it's like, well, we're right back to square one, where this thing literally is not moving at all. So that's just my opinion. Guys, let me know in the comments below. What do you think? What are you expecting from this Uncharted movie? Do you want it at all? Let me know your thoughts on this video in general in the comments below. Make sure you guys subscribe to our YouTube channel, Podcast Now. Hit the bell icon so you guys know when these videos go up. And thank you, as always, for watching, and I hope to see you all on the next video.